Yeah, that was kind of the question that at least I was driving at is that like, what were you eating in the time between Blast from the Past? And,
I was very fortunate. I was very fortunate in that I was always employed. I mean, I did some rewrite work and I optioned scripts and stuff. So we never got to like the noodles and ramen stage.
Right.
We went through it quite a bit before then, but I was always had things going. It's just getting things made. That's the challenge. Okay, but it does look, if you look at IMDb, it looks like I went on a killing spree for.
Yeah.
Okay, so your agent is William Morris. Okay, so that's pretty big. Does that mean that you can write pretty much anything and then they will read it automatically, or do you have? I'm at a stage where I have an audience for the things I write.
But what doesn't change is, I really have to write things that are great, and the ideas have to be phenomenal. Because otherwise, you have to make something so good, an idea so strong that people are nervous about not doing it. And that's the challenge for me. So the pressure's always on me, no matter.
Well, I find it interesting that these movies that have been produced, they're sort of like different genres. So you don't feel at all like you are pinholed into, now people only know you as this guy and you have to continue like that. You can write pretty much
I always feel, I just like great stories, and it's probably like a weird element to all the stories. I'm like a huge Twilight Zone fan. So anything that's like has some weird collision of realities is always interesting to me, and that covers a lot of stories.
Do you have any advice at all to give to our listeners, people that want to be or dream about becoming professional writers?
It's just you have to write, and you have to be your biggest cheerleader and your most ruthless critic, and you have to focus completely. And it's a lot of sacrifice, and it's not a lot of fun sometimes, but that's what it takes. For me, if someone else has a better way to do it, I wish they'd let me know.
Me too.
This is too hard.
Yeah, one thing that was kind of ironic. You said that you were a failed television writer.
Yes,
and I really like that because and of course this is going to offend Pia and Mike and Michael, but. Yeah, it's just that I'm a failed writer also, so I run this dorky website.
And we're not?
No, because actually everyone on this call has had something that has been,
Yeah, but they're little short.
And you can see it on the internet, so that's...
You know what, there's always different levels of like, where you think you should be vis-a-vis where you want to be. And it doesn't go away. All the people who I know who are really talented are still filled with like self-loathing and second guessing, and those are the people who succeed. I think the minute any of us, and to whatever level you're produced or unproduced, the point at which you say, I've arrived, I'm there, you're dead in the water, because you always have to have something to strive for. So they're just steps, really, and you have to, for me, I had spent so many years not getting anything produced. It was really just the pleasure of the stories that I was writing that got me through all that. And now that, it's not quite as dire, maybe financially, the only thing that's interesting to me still is the pleasure of the stories. So, that's what you should take out of it, I think, in terms of the approach to it.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I get a lot of pleasure out of reading the stories, the scripts that are submitted on the site, good and bad, even the bad ones. I get a lot of pleasure out of. So, wow, this is great talking to you.
Likewise, it's great to talk to you guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Enchanted 2.
Exactly, Enchanted 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure the status of that, so we'll have to see where that goes.
But are you doing the writing for that one too also, or?
I was working on it, and now they're moving forward, so I'm not sure where that's headed. That's up to the good folks at Disney. He said ever so carefully.
Yes.
Well, they'll have a couple other writers go through it, and they'll come back to you, just like the first one. They will be consistent.
A 2021 release, so Fantastic.
But we are currently in overtime, so I am going to go ahead and thank you, Bill, for being on the show.
Guys.
And thank you to Don and Pia and Cornetto, of course, for producing and sending us the Skype messages letting us know that we're in overtime.
Like a hockey game.
That is all for this episode of Simply Scripts Radio. I don't know if we'll be back in 2 weeks or if we are going on a little summer hiatus. I'm not exactly sure, but, if we're back, then look forward to a show in 2 weeks. If not, then we'll see you next time. Thanks again, everybody.